officer for Federal Student Aid, and all of the career staff at Federal Student Aid who have done these improvements just since the President took office. This is a phenomenal amount of work and is going to result in even further demand on our institutions, and it's exactly what we want to see. And they have been working tirelessly to make these changes in the Federal Student Aid program. Because of that, the administration has already had some success in reducing the student loan payments for recent college graduates through an income contingent repayment plan. These lower payments are going to help recent graduates in the tough job market. Graduates who work in public service jobs are going to have their loans forgiven after 10 years of income contingent repayments, and the plans will encourage the graduates to pursue public sector jobs as teachers, as nurses, as doctors, as public safety officers, of all manner of public employment. So we're very, very excited about this. It's not well known. We have to do a much better job of communicating this opportunity, but students will have, imagine a student from a low-income family going to medical school and not coming out, being in a job in a county hospital ER room for 10 years and having all of their medical loans forgiven. I mean, that is phenomenal work on the part of our federal student aid groups, so we really want to thank them. And by the same token, we're increasing the Pell Grants. I'm sure you've read about it. It'll be $5,550 next year, and future year increases are going to be indexed to inflation plus 1%. As a result, we'll have, yes, that's... So we're expecting to have about 8 million students receiving Pell Grants in 10-11, and the cash value is going to increase 13%. We'll also have low-interest loans available to students. And beyond the reforms we've already undertaken, the big one for us is direct lending. You've read about that in the paper. It's been very controversial. We expect to have direct lending done by 2010. We have about a third of the institutions have already converted. Charlie Reed, who's the chancellor of the state university system, told me that 18 out of his 23 campuses have already converted. They have 130,000 students receiving Pell Grants, in contrast to the Ivy League, which has 7,100 students receiving Pell Grants. So that just gives you a little taste of what the community colleges and the state universities, the capacity for Pell, and how critical these direct student direct student aid is to the future of our country. And if we put this in place, we'll expect to have 2.7 million more students receiving Pell Grants to pay for their college education, and beyond that, another million who will be using the help of low-interest federal loans. And I just had to put a side note in my remarks because 91% of the community college students who are borrowing right now who could qualify for Stafford are not using their full Stafford loan capability. So they're using credit cards or other things. They're probably paying 20 or 30% more on the credit card charges, and we need to really work with the federal student aid community across the country to get more of the community college students using the Stafford loan capability, because they'll save hundreds of dollars if they do that. Now, the President has also proposed, as part of the American Graduation Initiative, billions in funding for community colleges to, as I said, increase student access on the one side and college completion on the other to meet the 2020 goal. And this is perhaps the biggest part of the President's goal. And we have a lot of things that work. I don't think we need to be defensive. I brought this this little report, Examples of Excellencia, What Works for Latino Students in Higher Education. It was just published. It's profiles of selected programs that are well-researched. And program after program, you can look at the student learning outcomes. You can look at the percentage of students persisting and graduating. Programs like this work, and we need to do more of that. And so we're envisioning the graduation initiative to build on what works. We need to expand the programs that work so that we can get more students moving through. And the programs that work have to rely on the research community. They have to be evidence-based. We cannot just say they work. We have to demonstrate that they work. We need the accountability behind us to show that they work, to show that the federal investment, the state investments are paying off in the way that we want. We know that we can transform remedial programs. You have so many sessions at this conference. It was very exciting to see Pam Lau and the group from Parkland Community College in Champaign, Illinois. It's very exciting because we have these programs in perhaps every community college in this country. And these are the questions that we hope the trustees will continue to ask. How are the students doing? Are they moving from basic skills to college-level courses? How many are moving from freshman course History 1 to Poli-Sci? How many are moving from basic skills to finish English composition, to finish either statistics or calculus? Those are huge barriers for us. Ask a freshman to give you a sample of his or her writing. I know Ron Williams is here. There's a huge a report that he did with the College Board on the status of writing in America. I mean, we've got huge, huge challenges before us, but these are the questions. If we ask the completion questions, did they complete the program? Did they finish the basic skills? Did they finish the entire GE set of suites? Did they go in the vocational programs from Automotive Tech 1 to Automotive Tech 2? Did they do the engine maintenance and repair class after they did the introduction to automotive class? Are they persisting through? And then, did they get the certificate? Did they get the degree? And what kinds of jobs are they getting? So, as I said before, 40% of freshmen aren't earning a degree within 6 years. For poor and minority students, as I said, the percentage is even higher, and we have got to change this. And this is really where your leadership comes in. You can make an enormous difference looking at the research, asking the questions, having presentations on remedial programs, on college-level programs, on graduation, on all of the things that your campuses are doing, as well as getting through the budget crisis, as well as being as efficient as you can. I think we've got to keep our eyes on the ball. Now, toward this end, we have H.R. 3221 going through the Congress. It passed through the House, so we're thrilled, and we have to really owe a huge round of thanks to George Miller. Congressman Miller is going to be doing, yes, please join me in thanking him for his leadership, because it's through this bill that he has launched the President's Graduation Initiative. It's through this bill that we are realizing that we can make a difference here. The bill is proposed at $10 billion and really does recognize the significant role of community colleges in this, and the fact that you really do educate the top 100% of students in this country, not just some. So we're excited that the House passed the bill. Very soon, perhaps even next week, the Senate will release its version. The Senate is as the Senate does, so I don't have a crystal ball, but we expect it'll be almost ready. I was talking to Noah Brown this morning to see, what's his take, and David Boehm is here from AACC also, and George Boggs, of course. We're all watching really carefully. And right now, though, healthcare is on the front burner, and we all know that. But for us, the American Graduation Initiative is really the most significant investment in our future, and we want to do everything we can to support the President's vision for that widely shared prosperity that we can realize through this bill. Now, about half of the grant funding will go for the access and completion proposals so that we can have many more students successfully going through our institutions. And there's a $2.5 billion loan fund to help community colleges modernize